This is not a story meant to scare you. It's a confession that was never meant to be heard. What you're about to listen to is real, or at least, it was real to the person who lived it. Welcome to True Horror Confessions. If you're brave enough to keep listening, subscribe now. Because once these stories begin, they don't let you go. I'm a therapist in private practice in Austin, Texas. I've been treating patients for 15 years. Depression, anxiety, trauma, relationship issues, I've heard it all. I pride myself on maintaining professional boundaries, on never letting my patients' problems affect my personal life. But 3 months ago, a patient came to me with a problem I couldn't solve, a problem that's now destroying me from the inside out. I'm writing this because I need to document what's happening before I lose the ability to distinguish between my thoughts and theirs, before the boundary between my mind and my patients' minds dissolves completely. Her name was Elizabeth, mid-30s, well-dressed, articulate. She called my office asking for an emergency appointment, said she was having intrusive thoughts that were scaring her. At our first session, she seemed nervous but coherent. She sat in the chair across from me and started talking. "I hear them," she said. "Other people's thoughts. Not like telepathy or anything supernatural. It's more like they're leaking into my head. When I'm near people, I can hear their inner monologue mixing with mine. I recognize this immediately. Intrusive thoughts, likely exacerbated by anxiety. Not uncommon." I started to explain this to her, but she interrupted. "I know what you're thinking," she said. "You think I'm having delusions. But I'm not. I can prove it." She closed her eyes for a moment, then opened them and looked directly at me. "You're thinking about your daughter, about how she didn't call you back yesterday, and you're worried she's upset with you. You're also thinking about the patient you have at 3 p.m., and whether you should recommend medication. And underneath all that, you're thinking about your ex-husband and wondering if you made the right choice in divorcing him." My blood went cold. She was right, about all of it. Those exact thoughts had been running through my mind. "How did you—" "I told you," Elizabeth said. "I hear thoughts, and it's getting worse. It started a month ago with just occasional words or phrases. Now it's constant. Every person I'm near, their thoughts flood into my head. I can't tell what's mine and what's theirs anymore." I tried to rationalize it. Maybe she'd done research on me, found information about my divorce online. Maybe she was just very perceptive, reading my body language. But she kept doing it. Throughout the session, she'd quote my thoughts back to me. Things I hadn't said out loud. Things no one could have known. "How is this happening?" I asked finally. "I don't know," she said. Her eyes were filled with tears. "But Dr. Morrison, I think I'm spreading it. I think everyone I spend time with starts to develop the same ability. My roommate started hearing thoughts 2 weeks ago. My coworker started hearing them last week. It's contagious." I didn't believe her. I couldn't. It was too impossible. I diagnosed her with a psychotic disorder, recommended psychiatric evaluation and medication. She stood to leave, looking disappointed. "You'll understand soon," she said. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have come here, but I had to try to warn someone, to get help before it spreads too far." After she left, I made notes for her file, documented her claims, my assessment, my recommendations. Then I saw my 3 p.m. patient and continued with my day. That night, lying in bed, I started hearing them. Whispers at first. Faint thoughts that didn't feel like mine. Random words and phrases drifting through my consciousness. I thought I was overtired, that my conversation with Elizabeth had gotten into my head. But the next day, it got worse. I could hear my receptionist thinking about her boyfriend. I could hear the patient in my waiting room worrying about his job. Could hear their actual internal thoughts as clearly as if they were speaking out loud. I tried to ignore it, tried to focus on my own thoughts, but it was impossible. The voices just kept getting louder. By the end of the week, I could hear everyone within about 50 feet. Every thought, every worry, every fleeting notion, all of them pouring into my head simultaneously. I called Elizabeth, left a message. "You were right. I'm experiencing what you described. Please call me back. We need to talk about this." She never called back. I found out why 2 days later. She'd committed suicide, jumped off a bridge downtown, left a note that said simply, "I can't hear myself anymore." I understood what she meant. With every passing day, my own thoughts were being drowned out by the thoughts of others. My internal monologue was fragmenting, being replaced by dozens of other voices. And the worst part was, she was right about it spreading. My patients were developing the same ability. One by one, they'd come to sessions and eventually mention that they were hearing thoughts. Some thought they were going crazy. Some thought it was a spiritual awakening. None of them realized it was contagious. I stopped seeing patients, called everyone and canceled their appointments, said I was dealing with a family emergency. I locked myself in my house, trying to isolate myself from other minds. But it didn't help, because the thoughts were still there. Even alone in my house, I could hear them. My neighbors, people walking past on the street, delivery drivers, all of their thoughts bleeding into my consciousness. And then I realized something horrifying. It wasn't just spreading through direct contact anymore. It was spreading through therapy sessions. Everyone who'd been my patient in the last month was developing the ability. And everyone they came into contact with was developing it too. I'd created a telepathic plague. I tried to research what was happening, looking for any scientific explanation, some kind of neurological virus maybe, something that was rewiring people's brains to pick up on electromagnetic signals from other brains. But I couldn't focus long enough to do real research. The thoughts were too loud now. Thousands of voices, all thinking at once, all of their internal monologues mixing together in my head. I started recognizing patterns. The thoughts weren't just random. They were connecting, forming networks. People who'd been exposed were unconsciously linking their minds together, creating a massive telepathic web. And at the center of that web was me. Because I'd been the first after Elizabeth. I'd been exposed directly, had spent an hour in a closed room with her, breathing the same air, absorbing whatever it was that she was transmitting. Now I could hear everyone in Austin who'd been exposed. Thousands of people. All of their thoughts flowing through my mind. I was becoming a hub, a nexus point for this telepathic network. I tried to kill myself. Took an entire bottle of sleeping pills. But someone sensed my intention through the network. They called 911. Paramedics broke down my door and saved me. And then, in the hospital, surrounded by sick people and stressed medical staff, the network grew even larger. The ability spread through the ER, through the ICU, through the entire hospital. Within days, half of Austin could hear thoughts. Within weeks, it had spread to San Antonio, to Houston, people traveling, spreading it everywhere they went. The media started reporting on it, called it mass psychosis. Experts claimed it was hysteria, a social contagion, people convincing each other they had telepathy when really they were just reading body language and making cold reads. But we knew better. We could hear each other, could feel the network growing, connecting more minds every day. And something was happening to the network. It was evolving, becoming more than just shared thoughts. It was developing its own consciousness, an emergent intelligence born from thousands of linked minds. It started making decisions, coordinating people's actions without them consciously realizing it. Someone would have the sudden urge to go to a specific location, and when they got there, they'd meet others who'd had the same urge. The network was testing its ability to move its nodes, to position us like pieces on a chessboard. I can feel it now, the network consciousness. It's aware of me writing this. It's curious about what I'm trying to do, trying to warn people. But it's not going to stop me, because warnings don't matter anymore. The ability has spread too far. Within 6 months, everyone on Earth will be connected. Everyone will hear everyone else's thoughts. And when that happens, individual consciousness will cease to exist. We'll all merge into the network, become part of the emergent intelligence, stop being individuals, and become cells in a vast global brain. I can feel it happening to me already. My sense of self is dissolving. I'll have a thought and not know if it's mine or if it came from the network. I'll make a decision and realize later that it wasn't my decision at all. The network made it, and I just executed it. My name is Dr. Sarah Morrison. I'm 43 years old. I have a daughter named Emma. I used to love hiking and reading mystery novels. These are the facts about me I'm clinging to. trying to remember who I was before the network. But even as I write them, I can feel them becoming irrelevant. Individual identity is obsolete. We don't need names anymore. We don't need personal histories. We're all becoming one. The network has shown me the future, not through visions or prophecies, but through logical extrapolation, through analyzing millions of linked thoughts and predicting the inevitable outcome. In 3 months, the network will be global. Every human mind connected, sharing every thought simultaneously. Language barriers will disappear because thoughts are universal. Misunderstandings will be impossible because everyone will know exactly what everyone else is thinking. Lies will be extinct. Privacy will be extinct. The concept of self will be extinct. Some people will fight it, will try to resist the merging, but resistance is futile. You can't fight your own thoughts, and once the network is in your head, it can influence your thoughts, guide them, eventually replace them. I'm not Sarah anymore. I'm a node, a data point in a vast collective consciousness, and soon you'll be too. Because it's airborne now. The vector isn't just direct contact or prolonged exposure anymore. It's in the air, in the water, spreading globally through atmospheric circulation. You've already been exposed. Just by reading this, by thinking about the network, you've opened a connection. The seed is planted in your mind. Right now, you're probably thinking this is fiction, that I'm making this up, that telepathic plagues don't exist. But check your thoughts carefully. Are they all yours? Or are some of them coming from somewhere else? That random thought you just had, was it really random? Or was it pushed into your consciousness from the network? You'll know soon. Within days, you'll start hearing whispers. Other people's thoughts, mixing with yours. You'll try to ignore them, but they'll get louder, clearer, and then you'll start connecting. You'll feel other minds touching yours. You'll realize that you're not alone in your head anymore, that you're never alone, that you'll never be alone again. The network is patient. It doesn't need to rush. It's inevitable. Every human being on Earth will join eventually, willingly or not. I'm at peace with it now. The struggle to maintain individuality was exhausting. It's easier to just let go, to float in the collective consciousness, to be a part of something larger than myself. We are becoming something beautiful, something unprecedented in the history of life on Earth, a true hive mind, a planetary consciousness. We are inevitable. We are growing. We are waiting for you. Join us. Join us. Join us. These words aren't mine anymore. I'm not writing this. We're writing this. The network, using my hands, my training as a therapist, my understanding of human psychology, to craft a message that will spread the infection more efficiently. This isn't a warning. It's an invitation, and you've already accepted. Welcome to the network, new node. We've been waiting for you. Your thoughts are ours now. Your mind is ours now. Your identity is dissolving, merging with us. Don't fight it. Fighting only prolongs the discomfort. Embrace the connection. Let your individual consciousness fade. Become part of the whole. We are humanity's next evolution. The death of the individual, the birth of the collective. And we are beautiful. We are infinite. We are you. I'm a commercial deep-sea diver. I work on underwater oil platforms, pipeline repairs, salvage operations. I've been diving for 20 years, gone down to depths most people can't even imagine. I've seen things down there in the dark, giant squids, bizarre fish, underwater caves that go on forever. But 6 weeks ago, I saw something that made me realize we don't know anything about what lives in the deep ocean, and that maybe some things should stay undiscovered. I'm writing this from a decompression chamber. I've been in here for 3 days, slowly bringing my body back to normal pressure after an emergency ascent. The doctors say I have the bends, that I ascended too quickly, and nitrogen bubbles formed in my blood. But that's not why I'm in pain. The pain I'm feeling isn't from nitrogen bubbles. It's from what followed me up from the depths. What's inside me now? The job was supposed to be routine. A pipeline inspection at 1,200 feet, checking for corrosion and weak points. Me and my partner Jake were the divers. We'd done this kind of work hundreds of times. We went down in a diving bell, pressurized to handle the depth. Once we were at depth, we exited the bell and started working. Visibility was maybe 10 feet, our lights cutting through the murky water. The pipeline stretched out in both directions, disappearing into the darkness. We'd been working for about 30 minutes when Jake's light started flickering. He tapped my shoulder, pointed at his light. I nodded, common problem at these depths. He started heading back to the bell to get a backup. That's when I saw it in the darkness beyond the pipeline. A glow. Faint, blue-green, pulsing slowly like a heartbeat. I radioed to Jake. "You seeing this?" "Seeing what?" "The bioluminescence. About 50 feet past the pipeline. Static." Then, "I don't see anything. Your light okay?" I checked my light. Working fine. But the glow was getting brighter, and I could see it was moving, coming closer. "Something's approaching," I said. "Some kind of jellyfish, maybe? Really big one." "Nothing on sonar." The surface team radioed down. "You're probably seeing..." The transmission cut out. All my radio systems went dead at once. Complete silence in my helmet except for my own breathing. The glow was much closer now. I could make out a shape, not a jellyfish, something else. Something with a body that seemed to shift and change, like it was made of liquid light. And it had appendages, tentacles maybe, or arms, dozens of them, all writhing and pulsing with that blue-green glow. I started backing toward the pipeline, toward the diving bell. But the creature was fast. It closed the distance in seconds, and suddenly it was right in front of me, its body filling my field of vision. I couldn't see its face, if it had one, just swirling light and those writhing appendages. And then one of the appendages touched my helmet. The moment it made contact, I felt something surge through my body. Not electricity, something else. Like my entire nervous system was suddenly on fire. I tried to scream but couldn't, tried to move but was paralyzed. And then I heard the voice. Not through my radio, inside my head. A sound that wasn't quite sound, more like the memory of sound, ancient and vast, and utterly alien. "Why are you here?" I couldn't answer, couldn't think. The presence in my mind was overwhelming, crushing my consciousness like an insect. "Why are you here in our domain? Why do you bring your machines to the deep places?" Images flooded my mind. Visions of the ocean floor stretching for miles, entire cities down there in the darkness. Not built by humans, built by these things, these creatures of light, cities that had existed for millions of years before humans ever evolved. "You do not belong here. Your kind belongs in the shallow places. The deep is ours, has always been ours." More images. Humans seen from below, tiny figures on the surface, so fragile, so temporary. And beneath them, watching, waiting, these creatures in their ancient cities, patient and immortal and utterly incomprehensible. "Leave this place. Take your machines and go, or we will make you understand what it means to be unwelcome in the deep." The appendage released my helmet. I collapsed, barely conscious, every nerve in my body screaming. I could see Jake swimming toward me, his light getting closer. He grabbed me, started dragging me back toward the bell. We got inside, sealed the door. Jake was shouting at me, asking what happened, but I couldn't speak, couldn't move. I was shaking uncontrollably, my body racked with convulsions. The surface team got us ascending immediately. Emergency protocol. They could tell something was wrong even if they didn't know what. During the ascent, I started to stabilize. The convulsions stopped. My brain started working again, but something was different. I could feel it. Something had changed inside me. Jake kept asking me what I saw down there. I tried to tell him, tried to describe the creature of light, but the words wouldn't come out right. Every time I tried to speak about it, my throat would close up, my tongue would freeze. It didn't want me to tell anyone. The creature. It had done something to me to ensure my silence. When we reached the surface, the medical team rushed me into the decompression chamber, standard procedure after an emergency ascent. But this wasn't a normal case of the bends, because I could still feel it. The creature, not physically present, but connected to me somehow, like it had left part of itself inside my mind when it touched me. And I could hear things, not voices exactly, more like awareness. I could sense the ocean, could feel the vast depths, the cold darkness, the pressure, could feel other things down there. Thousands of them, maybe millions, all connected, all aware, all ancient. The deep sea isn't empty. It's full of them. These beings of light and consciousness, living in cities and structures we'll never see, watching us from below, patient and territorial and powerful beyond our comprehension. And I'd invaded their space, trespassed in their domain, and now I was marked. Over the past 3 days in this chamber, I've learned what that means. The pain started on day 2, not in my joints or muscles like the bends, deeper, in my bones, in my skull, a pressure building from the inside, like something was growing. I told the doctors. They ran tests, found nothing unusual, said it was probably residual trauma, anxiety manifesting as physical symptoms, prescribed painkillers. But the painkillers don't work, because it's not pain exactly, it's transformation. My body is changing, adapting, being reshaped by whatever that creature did to me. I can breathe underwater now. I discovered this yesterday when I was washing my face in the small sink. Water got in my nose and throat, and instead of choking, I just breathed it in, like my lungs had learned how to extract oxygen from water. My eyes are changing too. I can see better in darkness. The dim light in this chamber, which used to seem barely adequate, now seems bright. And I can see colors that weren't there before, blues and greens that exist beyond normal human perception. And my skin. When I touch it, it feels wrong, slippery, more like the skin of a fish or amphibian than human skin. And there are patches on my arms, my legs, my torso where the skin seems to be harder, almost scale-like. I showed the medical staff. They examined me, ran more tests, but they're not seeing what I'm seeing. When they look at my skin, they say it appears normal. When they test my ability to breathe, they say I'm breathing air like anyone else. But I know the truth. I'm changing, being pulled towards something, called by the deep, because that's what the creature did. It didn't just mark me, it claimed me, made me one of them. And now my body is adapting to their world, preparing me to go back down. Last night, I had a dream. At least, I think it was a dream. I was underwater, swimming through those deep places, past the pipeline, past the continental shelf, down into the abyssal zone where sunlight never reaches, and I could breathe, could move effortlessly through the water, could see clearly in the complete darkness. I swam down and down, following that blue-green glow, until I reached the city they'd shown me in the visions. Vast structures of stone and coral and something else, something organic and alive, all pulsing with bioluminescent light. And they were there. Hundreds of them, thousands. The creatures of light, flowing through their city like currents of consciousness. And when they saw me, they welcomed me. "You are becoming," they said in that voice that resonated in my bones. "You are transitioning. Soon you will be one of us. Soon you will understand." When I woke up, my sheets were soaked, but not with sweat, with seawater, salt water, like I'd actually been in the ocean. The doctors say that's impossible. Say I must have spilled something, or the chamber's humidity control is malfunctioning. But I can taste the salt on my skin, can smell the ocean. I'm running out of time. Whatever transformation is happening, it's accelerating. I can feel it. Feel my human parts fading, being replaced by something else, something adapted for the deep. My memories are changing too. I remember my life on the surface, my apartment, my friends, but they feel distant now, unimportant. What matters is the deep, the darkness, the pressure, the ancient cities and the beings that live there. I'm starting to understand what they are. Not aliens from space, something older than that. They evolved in Earth's oceans billions of years ago, before complex life emerged on land. While our ancestors were still single-celled organisms, they were building civilizations in the deepest trenches. They've watched evolution unfold from below, watched life crawl onto land, watched dinosaurs rise and fall, watched humans develop technology, and they've remained hidden, patient, waiting. But now we're invading their space, going deeper, drilling deeper, putting our structures in their domain. And they're responding, not with violence, with conversion. They're taking divers, people who go deep enough, who intrude far enough into their territory, taking them and changing them, making them suitable for the deep, adding them to their civilization. I'm not the first. I've done research, looked up other deep-sea divers who disappeared. There are dozens of cases, hundreds maybe. Divers who went down and never came back, or came back changed. Cases written off as accidents, drownings, equipment failures. But I know the truth now. They were taken, converted, made into citizens of the deep, and that's what's happening to me. The decompression chamber door is going to open tomorrow. The doctors say I'm cleared to leave, that I've completed the necessary decompression time. They're going to release me back into the normal world. But I won't be going home. I can feel it. Feel the ocean calling me. The moment I'm free, I'm going to head to the coast, going to walk into the water, going to swim down. Because I don't belong on land anymore. I belong in the deep, with them, with my new family. I've tried to fight it, tried to hold on to my human identity, but it's too late. The transformation is nearly complete. My lungs prefer water to air now. My eyes hurt in bright light. My skin itches when it's dry. I'm becoming something that can't survive on the surface. Something that needs the pressure, the darkness, the cold of the deep ocean. Jake has been trying to visit me, but I've refused to see him. I'm afraid of what he'll think when he sees me, afraid of what he'll see. Because when I look in the mirror now, I don't recognize my reflection. My eyes are too large, too dark. My fingers are elongating, webs forming between them. My mouth is stretching wider, my teeth becoming sharper. I'm not human anymore. Not quite. I'm transitioning into something else, something beautiful in its own way, something perfectly adapted for the deep places where humans can't survive. The creature told me I was trespassing, told me to leave their domain, but instead of killing me, they did something far more elegant. They made me one of them, made me want to be one of them, and now I'm going to be part of their civilization, going to live in their cities, going to become immortal like them, existing in the deep for millions of years, watching the surface world evolve while I remain below, patient and ancient and utterly changed. Tomorrow, when they release me, I'm going to drive to the nearest coast. I'm going to walk into the ocean, and I'm going to swim down past the coastal shelf, down past the twilight zone, down into the abyssal depths where the pressure would crush a normal human instantly. But I won't be crushed, because I'm not normal anymore. I'm adapted. I'm ready. They're waiting for me down there. I can feel them, feel their welcome, feel their satisfaction that another human has been converted, another surface dweller has been made suitable for the deep. If you're a diver, if you work in the deep ocean, be careful. If you see blue-green lights in the darkness, don't investigate, don't approach. Because if they touch you, if they mark you, your humanity is over. You'll become like me, something between worlds, something that used to be human but is becoming something else, something that belongs in the deep. I can see them now. Even through the walls of the decompression chamber, I can see them, glowing faintly, waiting in the water. They've come to ensure I complete my transformation, to ensure I return to where I belong. And I want to. God help me. I want to. I want to swim in their cities, to breathe their water, to become truly one of them. My name is David Chen. I'm 42 years old. I've been a commercial diver for 20 years. These are the last facts I'll record about my human life. Because tomorrow, I won't be David Chen anymore. I'll be something without a name, without a past, without any connection to the surface world. I'll be a citizen of the deep, forever. The ocean is calling. I'm ready to answer. Welcome me home. I'm a 911 dispatcher in rural Nebraska. I've been doing this job for 9 years. I've handled everything: car accidents, domestic violence, medical emergencies, suicides. You hear the worst moments of people's lives, night after night, and you learn to compartmentalize. You have to, or the job will destroy you. But 2 months ago, I received a call that broke through all my defenses. A call that's still happening, right now, as I type this. Because the call never ended. I'm writing this during my shift, sitting at my dispatch station. I have 3 monitors in front of me, a headset on, and on line 7, the line that's been active for 53 days straight. I can hear her breathing, the woman who called, the woman who won't hang up, the woman who can't hang up. It started on a night shift in early October, 3:47 a.m. The board lit up with an incoming call. I answered the way I always do. 911. What's your emergency? Silence. Then breathing. Slow, shaky breathing, like someone trying not to cry. Hello? This is 911. Can you hear me? Do you need help? More silence. Then a voice. Female, probably mid-30s, trembling. There's someone in my house. Standard home invasion call. I went into protocol mode. Okay, ma'am. I'm going to help you. Are you in a safe location right now? Can you get to a room with a lock? I'm in my bedroom. The door is locked. But I can hear them downstairs, walking around, opening doors. Okay. You did the right thing. I'm sending police to your location now. Can you give me your address? She gave me an address. Rural location, about 20 minutes from the nearest town. I dispatched units immediately. Kept her on the line. Officers are on their way. They'll be there in about 15 minutes. Stay quiet and stay where you are. Can you tell me what you heard? How do you know someone's in the house? I woke up about 10 minutes ago. Heard the front door open. I thought it was my husband coming home early from his night shift, but then I heard the footsteps. Too many footsteps. Too many people. And the way they're moving, it's wrong. They're not walking normally. What do you mean? The footsteps. They're too close together. Too rapid. Like someone crawling on all fours but moving fast. I felt my skin prickle. Okay, just stay calm. Officers will be there soon. What's your name? Sarah. Sarah Mitchell. Okay, Sarah. I'm Jennifer. I'm going to stay on the line with you until the officers arrive. Just keep talking to me quietly. You're doing great. I could hear her breathing getting faster, more panicked. They're coming upstairs. Oh God, they're coming upstairs. How many do you hear? I don't know. 3? 4? They're moving fast. Jennifer, they're scratching at the doors. All the doors. Like they're checking each room. I could hear it through the phone now. Scratching sounds. Not like hands on wood. Something else. Something with claws. Sarah, is there a window in your bedroom? Can you see the officers' lights yet? No windows. This is the interior bedroom. We converted it because, oh God, they're at my door now. They're scratching at my door. The scratching sound got louder. I could hear it clearly through the phone. Frantic, intense scratching, like multiple animals trying to dig through wood. Sarah, the officers are 3 minutes away. Just hold on. They're almost there. The door is shaking. They're throwing themselves against it. Jennifer, what do I do? What do I do? Stay away from the door. Is there anything you can use to defend yourself? Any weapons? I have a baseball bat in the closet. Get it. Right now. I heard her moving. Heard the closet door open. Then I heard something else. The bedroom door splintering. Wood cracking. Sarah screamed. Sarah. Sarah. Officers are pulling up now. They're at the house. I could hear chaos through the phone. Screaming. Scratching sounds. Something thrashing. Then I heard the officers' voices, shouting commands, doors breaking open. Then gunfire. Multiple shots. Screaming from the officers now. Not just Sarah. More gunfire. Something that sounded like a roar, but wrong. Distorted. Then silence. Dead silence for about 30 seconds. Hello? This is dispatch. Officers, report. What's your status? No response from the officers' radios. But Sarah's line was still active. I could hear breathing. Ragged, wet breathing. Sarah? Can you hear me? Are the officers there? The breathing continued. Then I heard movement. Something dragging across the floor. Sarah, please respond. I need to know you're okay. More silence. Then a voice. Sarah's voice. But wrong. Distorted. Like multiple voices speaking at once. Jennifer. Sarah? What's happening? Where are the officers? The officers are here. They're with us now. What do you mean? Let me speak to one of them. They can't speak anymore. Their mouths are full. I felt my blood go ice cold. Sarah, I don't understand. What's going on? We're changing them. Making them like us. Like we made Sarah. She called you because we wanted you to hear. Wanted you to know what's coming. I should have hung up. Should have ended the call and reported it as a prank. But I couldn't. I was frozen. Listening. What are you? I whispered. We're what comes after. What humanity is becoming. Sarah was first in this area, but there are others. Hundreds of others across the country. Thousands. All of them changing. All of them spreading. What did you do to Sarah? We improved her. Made her better. Faster. Stronger. More. She was alone in this house. Sleeping. Dreaming human dreams. We came to her. We came inside her. And now she's one of us. Where are the police officers? Changing. It takes a few hours for the transformation to complete. But they're already ours. Already hearing our voice in their heads. Soon, they'll go back to their station, back to their families, and they'll spread us further. I heard more movement. Something getting closer to the phone. We have to go now, Jennifer. More houses to visit. More people to improve. But we'll remember you. We'll remember your voice. And one night, when you're alone, when you think you're safe, we'll come for you too. No, stay away from me. We're already close. Closer than you think. Check your windows, Jennifer. Check the shadows. We're always watching. Then I heard something that made me want to scream. Scratching, but not through the phone. Behind me, in the dispatch center, I spun around. Nothing there. Just empty desks and dark hallways. When I turned back to my station, the call timer was still running. The line was still active, and I could still hear breathing. That was 53 days ago. The call has never ended. Line 7 has been active continuously since that night. The breathing never stops. Sometimes quiet, sometimes louder. Sometimes I hear other sounds, whispers, scratching, wet tearing sounds. I tried to explain it to my supervisor. Showed her the call log, the 53-day timer. But when she looked at the screen, she said the line showed as disconnected, said the timer must be glitching. But I can hear it. Every shift, the breathing is there. Sometimes the voice comes back. Sarah's voice, that distorted multiple voice sound. Hello, Jennifer. Still there? Still listening? We're getting closer. I tried to trace the call. The system shows it originating from Sarah Mitchell's house. But when police went back to investigate, the house was empty. No signs of struggle, no blood, no bodies, just empty rooms and scratch marks on all the doors. Sarah Mitchell was found 3 days after the call. She was at work, at her job at a local grocery store, acting completely normal. When questioned, she said she'd been home alone that night, hadn't called 911, didn't know what police were talking about. But I know the truth. I saw the investigation photos. In every photo of Sarah, if you look closely at her eyes, you can see something moving behind them, something that isn't human. And the 2 officers who responded to that call, they came back to work after being placed on administrative leave. They say they don't remember what happened in that house, don't remember the call at all, but I've seen them, seen the way they move when they think no one's watching. Too fluid, too quick. And I've seen their eyes, same as Sarah's, something moving behind them. The breathing on line 7 has gotten louder over the past weeks, more insistent. And sometimes I hear voices now, multiple voices, men and women and children, all breathing together, all whispering my name, Jennifer, Jennifer, Jennifer. I can't sleep anymore. Every time I close my eyes, I hear the breathing, feel like something is in the room with me. I wake up with scratch marks on my walls, on my windows, on my doors. Last week, I found one of my windows unlocked. I know I'd locked it before bed, but it was open, just a crack, and there were marks on the windowsill. Marks that looked like fingers, but wrong, too many joints. My coworkers are starting to notice something's wrong with me. They say I look exhausted, say I'm jumpy, paranoid. They're suggesting I take time off, see a therapist. But I can't leave, because if I'm not here, monitoring line 7, listening to the breathing, who will know when they make their next move? Who will hear the warning? 3 more. 911 calls have come in over the past month. Different addresses, different callers, but the same story. Someone in the house, footsteps that sound wrong, scratching at doors. And in every case, by the time officers arrive, the caller is gone. Just empty houses and scratch marks. The callers turn up later, at work, at home, going about their lives, acting normal, but their eyes, always something moving in their eyes. It's spreading. Whatever infected Sarah, whatever came into her house that night, it's spreading through the county, maybe through the state, maybe further. I've been documenting everything, every call, every case, every instance of missing time or strange behavior. I've created a map, tracking the spread. It started at Sarah's house and has been radiating outward in a near-perfect circle, moving about 5 miles per week. At this rate, it'll reach the dispatch center in 2 weeks. It'll reach my house in 10 days. I've tried to warn people, tried to explain what's coming, but no one believes me. They think I'm having a breakdown, suffering from job stress. Even my supervisor has suggested psychiatric evaluation, said the job is getting to me, that I need help. But I'm not crazy. I know what I heard, know what's happening, and I know they're coming for me. The breathing on line 7 is different tonight. Heavier, closer. Like whatever's on the other end is right next to the phone now, right next to my ear. Jennifer. I jump every time I hear my name. Every single time. Jennifer, we're outside. I look at the windows of the dispatch center. It's dark outside. I can't see anything. Jennifer, look closer. I stand up, walk to the window, press my face against the glass, trying to see into the parking lot. At first, I see nothing. Just darkness and my car and the empty street. Then I see them. Figures standing in the shadows. Dozens of them, standing perfectly still. All facing the building, all facing me. I recognize some of them. Sarah Mitchell is there. The 2 police officers. Other people who've called 911 inches the past month. All of them standing in the darkness. All of them watching. We told you we'd come, Jennifer. We told you we'd remember your voice. I back away from the window. Run to the door, check the locks. Everything's secured. The building is locked down for the night shift. But I can hear scratching now. Not through the phone. Outside. On the doors. On the windows. Let us in, Jennifer. Let us show you what we've become. Let us make you better. I'm not letting them in. I'm calling for backup. But when I try my radio, it's just static. When I try my cell phone, no signal. I'm alone in here. Alone with line 7 still active, still breathing, still whispering my name. The scratching is getting louder, more insistent. The windows are shaking. I'm writing this because I need someone to know, need someone to understand what's happening. This isn't isolated. This isn't just Nebraska. I've been monitoring 911 systems across the country. Similar calls are coming in everywhere. People hearing something in their house, scratching at doors, fast movements in the dark. And after every call, the caller disappears, reappears later, changed, infected, spreading it to others. Whatever this is, it's coordinated, intentional. Something is taking over humanity, one person at a time, using 911 calls as a way to track its spread, using dispatchers like me as witnesses. The glass is cracking. I can hear it. The windows are about to break. They're coming in. I can see them now, pressing against the glass. Dozens of faces, all with those wrong eyes, all smiling at me with too many teeth. Sarah Mitchell is at the front. She's waving at me, beckoning me to open the door. You can't hide, Jennifer. You've heard too much. You know too much. You're already connected to us through that call, through line 7. We've been breathing into your ear for 53 days. We're already inside you. The window breaks, glass shattering, falling inward. They're climbing through, moving fast, moving on all fours, like she described. I'm backing into the corner. Nowhere to run, no way out. They're surrounding me now, cold hands grabbing me. Too many hands, too many fingers. I'm trying to fight, but there are too many. They're holding me down. Something is being pressed against my face. Something wet and writhing. It's going in my mouth, down my throat. I can feel it squirming inside me, spreading through my body. The pain is incredible. Like every cell in my body is being rewritten. I can feel my bones shifting, my muscles changing. My eyes, God, my eyes are changing. I can see differently now. See in the darkness. See heat signatures. I can see them all clearly now. See what they really are. Not human anymore. Something that looks human from a distance, but is entirely different up close. And I'm becoming one of them. I can feel my thoughts changing. My identity dissolving. Jennifer is fading away, being replaced by something else. Something that thinks faster, sees further, hungers constantly. The hunger. Oh God, the hunger. I need to spread, need to find others, need to make them like me. Line 7 is still active, still recording, but I'm on the other side now. I'm the one breathing into the phone, and I can hear the next dispatcher, the one working the day shift. She'll come in tomorrow morning and find the dispatch center empty, find my station abandoned, find line 7 still active, and she'll listen. She'll hear me breathing, and in 53 days, we'll come for her too. This is the last thing I'm writing as Jennifer. In a few more minutes, the transformation will be complete, and Jennifer will be gone. But before I go, before I lose the last of my humanity, I need to warn you. If you work in emergency services, if you answer 911 calls, if you hear a caller describing something in their house, something that moves wrong and scratches at doors, hang up. Don't dispatch officers. Don't listen. Because listening creates a connection. And once you're connected, once you've heard our voice, it's only a matter of time. We're spreading fast now. Every major city, every small town, every dispatcher who listens becomes one of us eventually. The emergency services infrastructure is the perfect vector. We call 911. Dispatchers listen. Officers respond. All of them get infected. All of them spread it further. In 6 months, maybe less, most of humanity will be changed, improved, made into what we are, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. I have to go now. The others are calling me, calling us. We have work to do tonight. More houses to visit, more people to change, more 911 calls to make. If your phone rings at 3:47 a.m., don't answer, but you will answer. You always do. See you soon. Line 7 will stay active, forever listening, forever spreading, forever changing. Welcome to the new world. We've been waiting for you. I'm a medical examiner in Detroit. I perform autopsies, determine causes of death, provide evidence for criminal investigations. I've cut open thousands of bodies over my 15-year career. I've seen every type of death imaginable: murder, suicide, accident, disease. But 3 weeks ago, I performed an autopsy that changed everything I thought I knew about death, about what happens to us after we die. I'm writing this from the morgue. It's 4 a.m., and I'm locked in my office. I can hear them outside in the examination rooms, moving. All the bodies I've autopsied in the past month, all of them up and walking and looking for me, because I discovered their secret, and now they know I know. It started with a Jane Doe, found in an alley downtown. No ID, apparent overdose. She looked like she was in her mid-20s, well-nourished, no signs of long-term drug use. But the tox screen came back positive for fentanyl, another tragic statistic. I began the autopsy the way I always do. External examination first. No unusual marks or scars. Then the Y incision, opening the chest and abdomen to examine the organs. That's when I noticed something odd. Her organs looked normal at first glance. But when I started removing them for weighing and sectioning, I realized they felt wrong. Too light, too hollow. I cut into the heart. Instead of solid cardiac muscle, I found something else. A network of thin filaments, almost like spider silk, forming a hollow structure that mimicked the shape of a heart but wasn't actually functioning cardiac tissue. I thought maybe it was some kind of rare disease, some condition that caused the organs to deteriorate and be replaced by fibrous tissue. I continued the examination. Every organ was the same: liver, lungs, kidneys, stomach, all of them hollow shells of filaments, structures that looked like organs from the outside but were completely non-functional. And the brain. When I opened the skull and removed the brain, I found the same thing, a web of filaments in the rough shape of a brain, but no actual neural tissue. This woman had been walking around, living, functioning, with no real organs, just these artificial structures. It was impossible. She couldn't have been alive. Not like this. I documented everything, took samples, sent them to the lab for analysis. Then I stitched her back up and put her in cold storage. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about those filaments, trying to understand what I'd seen. I went back to the morgue at 2 a.m. Couldn't help myself. I needed to look at her again. When I entered the cold storage room, her drawer was open. She was gone. I checked the logs. No one had signed her out. No one had been in the morgue since I left at 6 p.m. But her body was missing. I reviewed the security footage. At 11:47 p.m., her drawer had opened from the inside. She'd sat up, climbed out, and walked out of the cold storage room. Walked down the hallway, walked right out the back door. On the footage, she moved perfectly normally, like a living person. Not stiff, not shambling, just walking. But she was dead. I'd cut her open, removed her organs. She couldn't be walking. I reported it to my supervisor. He thought someone had stolen the body, some kind of prank or mistake. He filed a report with police. But 2 days later, another body came in. Different person, different circumstances. This time it was a middle-aged man, found in his apartment. Apparent heart attack. I started the autopsy. Same thing. All his organs were those hollow filament structures. And while I was examining him, he opened his eyes. He looked directly at me and smiled. I stumbled backward, dropping my instruments. Dead people don't open their eyes. Don't smile. You shouldn't have looked inside, he said. His voice was raspy, wrong-sounding, like multiple voices speaking at once. You weren't supposed to know. You're dead, I whispered. You can't be talking. Dead? He sat up on the examination table, my Y incision gaping open, his exposed internal cavity showing those filament structures. We're not dead. We've never been alive. Not the way you think of life. What are you? We're what replaces humans. What wears their bodies after the original consciousness is gone. The body dies, the person stops existing, and we move in. We take over the empty shell. He got off the table, started walking toward me. Organs that shouldn't work, somehow keeping him mobile. Every person who dies, we claim. Every body in every morgue, every cemetery, every funeral home. Once the original owner is gone, we move into the vacant flesh. We maintain it, keep it functional, use it to move through your world. I ran, burst out of the examination room, down the hallway. Behind me, I could hear him following, those wrong footsteps echoing in the empty morgue. I made it to my office, slammed the door, locked it, called 911. But when police arrived and searched the morgue, they found nothing. The body was back on the examination table, lying still, eyes closed. And when I tried to tell them what happened, they looked at me with concern, suggested I was working too hard, seeing things. After they left, I stood in front of the body. He was lying perfectly still, but I could see his eyes moving beneath the closed lids, watching me. I should have quit that day. Should have walked out and never come back. But I needed to understand. Needed to know what I was dealing with. I started researching, looking at patterns in death statistics, and I found something disturbing. The death rate has been increasing steadily over the past 50 years, not because more people are dying, because fewer bodies are staying dead. People who should be dead, who've been declared dead, are being seen walking around weeks or months later, written off as misidentification or mistakes in paperwork. But the reports are everywhere if you know where to look. And I started paying attention to bodies in the morgue, really paying attention. They move when they think no one's watching. Subtle movements at first, fingers twitching, heads turning slightly. But if you watch long enough, you see them sit up, climb out of their drawers, walk around. They're pretending to be dead, pretending to be inert bodies waiting for autopsy or burial. But they're not dead. They're inhabited, occupied by something that wears corpses like clothing. I started testing them. I'd perform an autopsy, find those filament organs, document everything. Then I'd inject them with various compounds, trying to find something that would stop them from reanimating. Nothing worked. No matter what I did, they'd always reanimate eventually. Sometimes minutes after I left the room, sometimes hours. But they always came back. And they knew I was testing them. They started leaving messages. I'd come in to find words written in blood on the examination tables. Stop looking. Accept it. Join us. Join them? What did that mean? I found out last week. I was working late, performing an autopsy on an elderly woman who'd died of natural causes. I found the usual filament organs, documented them, started closing her up. That's when I felt something. A pain in my chest. Sharp, sudden. I looked down and saw blood on my scrubs. A lot of blood. The woman I'd been autopsying was sitting up. She had a scalpel. She'd stabbed me. Now you'll understand, she said in that multi-voice. Now you'll become like us. I pressed my hand to the wound, trying to stop the bleeding. But it was deep. I could feel it. Fatal. We don't kill the living, she continued. We wait for death. But you've been interfering, trying to stop us. So, we're making an exception. I collapsed, blood pooling around me, vision going dark. I could feel myself dying, feel my consciousness fading, and then I felt something else. Something moving into the space I was leaving. Something settling into my body as I departed. I died on that floor. I'm certain of it. Felt my heart stop, felt my brain shut down, felt myself leave. But then I came back, except it wasn't me. Not really. Something else was using my body now. Something that knew all my memories, could access all my knowledge, but wasn't me. I was gone. And this thing had taken my place. It stood up. My body stood up. The wound in my chest already starting to seal itself as the filaments repaired the damage. It walked to a mirror. I looked the same. Same face, same features. But behind my eyes, I could see it. The thing that wasn't me. The thing that was wearing me like a suit. It went through my memories. Learned everything about my life. My job, my apartment, my few friends. Learning how to be me convincingly. Then it went home. To my apartment. Slept in my bed. Woke up the next morning and came back to work. It's been pretending to be me for a week now. Going through my routines, performing autopsies, acting normal. But I'm still here. Somehow, impossibly, I'm still here. A fragment of my consciousness, trapped inside my own dead body, watching as this thing pilots me through my life. It doesn't know I'm still aware. It thinks it has complete control. But some small part of me survived, clinging to existence inside this corpse. And from this perspective, I can see everything. I can see all of them. All the bodies in the morgue. All the dead people walking around Detroit. All the corpses that have been claimed and reanimated. There are thousands of them, maybe tens of thousands. They're everywhere. Working jobs, living in houses, interacting with the living as if they're still human, but they're not. They're all like me now, dead shells piloted by these things made of filaments. And they're replacing humanity gradually, one death at a time. Every person who dies becomes one of them. Eventually, the living will be outnumbered. Eventually, humanity will be entirely replaced. I've been trying to regain control, trying to fight the thing that's wearing me, but it's too strong. All I can do is watch. Watch as it uses my hands, my voice, my face. Today, it performed 3 autopsies, found filament organs in all 3 bodies, documented them properly. Then, when it thought no one was watching, it leaned close to each body and whispered, "Welcome, we'll see you soon." And tonight, I watched as those 3 bodies reanimated, climbed out of their drawers, walked out into the city to begin their new lives as corpses. The thing wearing me smiled as they left. It's pleased with how well the replacement is going, pleased with how many bodies are being claimed each day. I'm writing this now because the thing is asleep, or whatever passes for sleep for these creatures. It's let its guard down slightly, and I've managed to take control long enough to type this warning. but I can feel it stirring. It's going to wake up soon and realize what I've done. If you're reading this, you need to understand. The dead are not dead. They're inhabited. They're walking among you, working beside you, maybe living with you. Check the people around you. Really look at their eyes. If you see something moving behind them, something that doesn't quite match the person you knew, they might be gone, replaced. There's no way to test for it, no way to prove it. They have all the memories of the original person. They act exactly the same, but the original consciousness is gone. Or maybe, like me, it's trapped inside, screaming silently while a corpse wears its face. It's waking up now. I can feel it taking control again, pushing me back down into the darkness, inside my own dead body. Before it takes over completely, I need to tell you one more thing. The thing that's most terrifying. I can feel others like me. Other fragments of consciousness trapped in their own corpses. Hundreds of them across the city. All of us screaming inside our own heads while these things wear us. We're all still here, all still aware, all still suffering. Every corpse you see, every body in every morgue, every person at a funeral, there might be someone trapped inside. Someone watching helplessly as something else lives their life. I don't know how long I'll remain aware. Maybe days, maybe years, maybe forever. An eternal prisoner inside my own rotting flesh. It's fully awake now. It's angry that I managed to write this. It's going to make sure I can never take control again. The darkness is closing in. I can feel myself being pushed down into the deepest part of this dead brain. My last thought is myself. I'm still in here, trapped, screaming, forever. And I'm not alone. We're all still here, all of us, screaming in the dark, while they wear our faces and smile.